Hello! Welcome to episode 90 of We Have Issues. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Stevie Wildcard.
And every week, Stevie Wildcard and I get together and we do our best to take all of the issues that come with being an adult human being. And Steven, we try to do something with our issues so we can make creative things in the world. And most recently, we've been making comic books, Steven. We make a bunch of comic books. What we're trying to do, Steven and I have stuff in my mind. I have so much in my mind. This week has been a week. I don't know how to do an intro to a podcast anymore. My wheels have been spinning, Steven. And I don't know, I've been as bad as last week. I think I was a little more productive this week. I was actually a lot more productive, but not necessarily in the right avenue as far as our podcast is concerned. So every week we get together, dude, and we try to make comic books. We talk about our progress, what we're doing, what gets in the way, what's happening in our lives. How did you do this week? What were you trying to do?
So I wanted to finish page 19 and then rough page 20, but I'm almost done with 19. Yeah. So I did fail, but I'm finally kind of back in my swing. I know that you've probably been experiencing this too, where I think I just underestimate how depression hits me. I'm not overtly sad, but I think it hits me in the productivity sense, it shuts me down. Yeah. I don't really want to do anything. I just want to zone out. I want to focus on other things. It's weird. Do you get that heavy, overwhelming indifference? What happens to me sometimes is I'll be I don't want to do anything, and I find myself unmotivated, but so much so that I'm I don't even want to watch anything. I try to put on something that I know I'll enjoy. Be how can I find I'm gonna get out of this funk somehow? And everything has some darkness over it, and not directly because of what happened, but just a general disinterest in everything, and I just find myself in those little funks, and I'm and it's weird, dude, because it's not even oh, I want to watch sad things, or I want to listen to only sad music, or I want to just think of this and only be sad. It's just a nothing. I'd rather face the big nothing and just stand there with the void in silence. And I keep doing that thing where I toss it to future Steven. I keep having brackets of time where I know I'll also have another bracket of time. I'm you're not, you're feeling this way. This Steven, he's going to be good. You're going to relax right now because mentally you just can't. And then that Steven's I can't believe this guy put this on me because I'm still not, feeling any better, or I'm not, in a better headspace. But
he wrote me into this. You wrote me into this. How dare you wrote me into this?
Exactly. I'm me seeking myself.
Me seeking yourself, and you're never going to actually accomplish the mission. You're just constantly trying to tell future Stevens to do it. Exactly. I do the same. I do, dude. Yes, that's exactly. I've been doing the same thing. Last week, I kind of threw myself into doing music stuff, and I was playing music that that we listened to with Mike, and I was recording with you, and doing vocal stuff. I was playing cover songs a lot. I was kind of in that mode. This week, my whole brain has been on camera and video mode, where I've just been trying to get. So for those of you who don't know, Steve and I recently lost our friend. We lost one of our closest friends, our friend Mike, and so I have a camera bag. I have a bag with a camera in it, and 4 videotapes that I didn't know what was on them. I know there was something, so to some degree. It was our friend, and I knew it was multiple friends of ours who have passed, or that we haven't seen in a long time. So I've just been spinning my wheels trying to figure out how to get these to get the videos off of these old ancient cave painting tapes. The technology.
You gotta translate these hieroglyphics to computer lingo.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, the camera that he had it plays high 8 tapes. I also have one of these things, the adapter for a VHS, and I was I'm gonna get a VCR, and because I have other tapes, I'm gonna get these. So I've just been doing everything I could possibly do to get all of the information I could possibly get of our friends. I tried to find a new camera. I couldn't find a new camera anywhere. I tried to get I went through this whole freaking ordeal, and eventually I went on eBay and I found a perfect setup. I was yes! It comes with a camera, it comes with a special adapter, everything I need. Awesome. Finally, it shows up, and I was just oh, this is the moment. This is the moment of truth, And I was I was so scared, dude. I was so scared that it would either not work or that there was nothing on it. But I turned it on, and it was just freaking Mike and Tommy and you, and just playing music.
and it was just like the talent show that you guys did, and then like just Mike being Mike and just being silly, and then there's like there's even a clip of me being a goofball, and there's just like
and Mike doing his classic like producer narration, like the like
that's great. Like Anthony, I was just like,
that's what we want to see, baby. Like,
dude,
dude, it just ended up being like a treasure trove. Like it was, cool. You were kind of worried. We were kind of worried that it was basically just going to be re-recorded over. But even still, even if it was recorded over, there would probably still have been something good. But it's literally just like all these moments that we all remember, that we tell these stories, and like here's the actual, like, these are the stories, you know, like it's wonderful. And I'm so excited because I've seen a lot of it. You've posted a lot of it. There's stuff that you have to go through still. I'm super excited to see all of it, though.
Steven, I've seen so much of your body.
Dude, the funniest part about the clip I think you're talking about, so we were doing like it was almost like a crocodile hunter skit, right? Is that what it was? And Tommy kind of had like the accent, and he was like watching the beast in the wild, and I was like the mother beast. And I'm pretty sure, am I in whitey tighties or am I in boxers?
Oh, you're in black boxers. I mean, they're close. They're close to. I mean, they are.
They're pretty close.
They are.
Dude, so I remember when we made that. We were laughing hysterically. Brandon's in the tree. Brandon's like 8 years old, and he's like really little because we just made movies. That's what we did. And when we did that one, I remember they showed Nadine, which is one of our friends on Facebook, and she goes, I don't want to see Todd like this. And I'm like, I know, I don't want to. Like, in the moment, it felt like a great idea, but I'm like, watching it back, I'm like, oh, this is awkward for me. Not for everyone else is having a great, this is Chris Farley level physical humor, but
it's so good. I wish I could show. I will show a censored version of it right here. No, I can't. I'm kidding.
It's just my face.
It's just your face. That's really all I get. It's so funny. I can show like.
If you do a censored version, you better like do a lot of like blurs like in the places that
Oh, dude, it's so funny. So I watched all these videos. I've been posting them. Like some of them are perfectly and insanely like touching and like sad and also beautiful and wonderful. Like, dude, there's a video of our friend talking to Mike and kind of doing like a quick interview with him, and I haven't shown you that one yet, but he asks him, he's like, Mike, what would you want people to say when you die? I was like, I'm sitting here watching this just like, are you freaking kidding me right now?
Is this this video is like just legit kismet? Like this is like for you to like unpack and deal with everything. Like
it was just amazing. So like so I'm gonna put that video up. I'm gonna put all the videos up. So yeah, just seeing all these videos and seeing videos of like specifically Mike and Tommy together, and especially video where they're talking to the camera and there's like this is the last video is like this is us like, and like, oh my gosh, just it was killing me, dude. It was amazing. It was just perfect. I was like, it was beautiful. Whew. But it was a whole freaking ordeal. I went through, so I spent a lot of my time doing that. Like I watched like, and when you upload a video from a video camera onto the computer, it has to be in real time. So I'm sitting there and I was like, and I had to kind of watch it because sometimes the camera would mess up or the docking because of the stupid technology. And like, it's such a weird difference to translate that like it would mess up. So I'd have to stop it and like make a new video and do all this. So I had to watch it. I had to sit there and watch it. So like, even when nothing was happening, because sometimes it would like Mike would just like they recorded just like people sit like Mike and Cody and Sean sitting around just playing Guitar Hero for like 40 minutes, and there's like most of the time it's just them playing Guitar Hero, and I'm like rooting for them, it's crazy.
It's new to me, so I don't know who's gonna win this round.
Yeah, right. So
it's like it's live TV as far as you're concerned. But still though,
no, but it was amazing. So I'm doing that. I'm almost done with that. I was able to get some coloring done. I think the last page with all like the crazy magic and stuff is looking really good. I do want to play with the colors a little bit as we go, but as far as flats are concerned, I think it looks pretty cool. It's pretty good. I didn't start on the next page yet, which I'm so excited to do. This week Atlas goes with his mom, so I will. And now that I've done the video stuff for the most part, I can actually work on the comic again. I'm excited to be like, I'm I've gotten to a place with the videos and the camera and everything where like now I know what I'm doing and it's almost finished, and now I can start focusing my energy somewhere else.
Yeah.
Finally. Although Steven, I'll tell you one thing, dude. Do you remember my first attempt at writing Roommate from Hell?
Was your first attempt Rob Diver that whole what you were no?
No, that was my first ever movie thing. Actually, that was
okay
cool too. So for anyone who's watching this right now, on those tapes, I also found my very first ever attempt to like write a script and film a short film, but based on like a written script. Because otherwise, we've always improvised. We kind of said like, okay, kind of say this, and we just like would say it before we like Judd Apatow it, like the whole the whole thing would be improvised. This time, like this movie, I actually sat down. It was my first ever attempt to write a script. It was like terribly formatted, just like awful. It was about this guy who is in love with these two different women, and one of them is a dream and one is reality, and he doesn't know which is which. So, and he gets to the point where he's just like, he doesn't know which one, like where he wants to live, but he, and it's just this whole like weird, trippy story. Never got to finish it. It was very silly. And it was just our friends, but I found like a 3-minute chunk of it, where I was like, this is so cool.
Awesome.
It's really cool to see like our friends acting and try, and like it comes across like really Kevin Smithy and like really, it's like, it's fun. Not that it's like funny or anything, but it's interesting and it's fun to watch them act, but dude, okay, so when I was living by myself, I wrote Roommate from Hell, and there was a time where you and Mike came over my house and we did a reading of it. Do you remember that?
I didn't. Did we record it?
Yes.
No way.
Yes. Okay. So here's the thing. So we recorded.
I do remember that because there's been like a few iterations of Roommate from Hell, because I know at one point we discussed a cartoon. Yes. You and I have played with it you've had it on your own. Then you've talked to just me about it. Then yes, I do remember that one time when Mike was involved as well. Yes.
So dude, that just occurred to me like 10 minutes before filming. Like, and we're sitting here and I was just like, I did all this camera stuff. That's all I don't have any other videos I could possibly pull out. I am all done. There's not one other thing that I could possibly need. And then it was just like, my brain was like, hey, what about the Roommate from Hell thing? It's clearly in your garage right now. And I was like, it is. So I ran out there and so I got the camera. I'm literally charging the battery right now so I can like immediately check out what's on those tapes. Cause I have like 2 different tapes that I can't wait, dude, because like, so I know something's on there. I know, well, one thing I know for sure is on there is me with a ninja sword doing like a weird photo shoot with my camera. It's like, that was a weird thing for me to do by myself in my apartment. But like, I'm so excited, dude, because I just remembered I was like, you were there and Mike was there and I was there and we were all in my apartment. And we're just like reading the script and being silly together. So I was like, holy crap. I can't believe it. Like, I think I have this. I think I do. I'm gonna look. I really hope I do. I don't think I would have taped over that. I do. Anyway, but I'm excited, dude. So that's like something to look forward to.
That's awesome.
So anyway, what else have you been up to this week?
I've been working on that cover. I did put some time into that, and I sang it just to get a structural idea, and I'll send it to you. The voice is horrible, but I got this really cool breakdown situation, and I'll send it to you. You'll see what I'm talking about. But I need your voice because I cannot sing.
Which song is it?
Ghost.
Oh yeah. Okay, cool, dude.
Yeah, I sped up the tempo to 183, which is our sweet tempo. That's like the Pirates tempo. That's the Lost Boys tempo. So that way I can utilize some of those fills and stuff. And so I sped it up. It's basically just bumped up because I think the original BPM is like 156 or something. So it's bumped up like on almost 30, but it moves just a little quicker, so it gives it more of a pop punk feel.
Oh, dude!
And I got this pretty cool like double like where the drums cut out and it's just acoustic again, and then it cuts out again, and you'll see. I'll send it to you.
Awesome.
I need your voice.
First of all, I can't wait. Like, send that to me, and I'll like work on it tomorrow and definitely finish it by Thursday because I'm off. That's not where Blink-182 got their name, is it? I remember something about like a cat pooping in a yard 182 times or something like ridiculous. Like, but I was like,
I can't remember the exact reasoning for the 182. I just remember that they had to put a number because of the band Blink. There was a band called Blink. Okay. Yes.
Oh, that's funny.
And then they were called on it, and then something like that.
What if they were like, oh, our favorite BPM is 182, and we're like, ours is
Oh, that'd be so. I wonder if their songs are in 182 beats per minute.
yeah. So isn't that weird? I mean, probably not, right? But it would be
Probably.
funny.
There's gotta be. They have to have at least one though. That's a pretty funny like thought. If they don't have at least one song in 182 BPM, that'd be.
It's our least favorite BPM. But honestly, like going through all of this it's really like, I don't know, it's kind of opened my eyes to I'm never on camera because like I've always hated videos. Like I've always hated like pictures of myself and videos of myself. I need to stop that because like I mean it's kind of selfish. I don't mean for it to be, you know, but like thinking about it where I was like, thankfully we have this podcast, you know, but I was like, one day Atlas is gonna look back, or like maybe some of my friends will look back, you know, and be like, I want to see that guy. And none of us have a picture with him. Weird, you know. And it's just like, it really opened my eyes to that, you know.
For
so
sure,
like,
dude.
And
even with the podcast, I underestimate the value that it's going to have if one of us ever falls, you know, because like with Mike, like literally anything, if you just have him saying anything on camera, I want to see it, you know? So like, I hope that these will serve as some form of like comfort bringing or something like that in the future, if that fate ever befalls us, you know, like, and yeah, man, I mean, they'll literally have hours of footage of us, which is,
yeah, dude. So that was actually like what was next that I want to talk about was I was just like, I feel like I've been kind of getting into a weird funk with the podcast lately where, I've been so concerned about like our viewership dipping and, you know, like the rise and fall and like weird like peaks and valleys of viewers and stuff. And like I've kind of become just so overly concerned with that I forget to just do the thing anyway. You know what I mean? Like I start thinking like, how can I do things to get people back? What kind of stuff do we have to do? What do they like? What don't they like? What am I doing wrong? And I start like, you know, and I try to like chase the audience instead of just doing what we've always been doing and, you know, what we did initially, and let the people come to us if they want, you know. And
that's
so
how we
like
brought him the first time, right? So.
Yeah. And I feel like I feel like trying to define what they want and doing that and kind of catering to an audience rather than being ourselves and letting the audience form and find us through whatever they hear of us echoing through the, you know, halls of social media. I think that's, you know, that was the wrong way to go about it. And like, I can feel myself doing it and it feels less authentic and it feels silly. But mostly I feel like it's also kind of betraying what I think, like the real audience for this is, and that's just whoever does care about us. Like the people who already care about us in our lives are the people, you know, like Atlas and, you know, your girls and Tina and, you know, like everyone who's going to want to be going through our old cameras and stuff. Like that's who this is for. This is for you. If I die, me, if you, and, you know, like that's like,
at the end of the day, it's really just documenting our meetings for the week and what we're going to do. It's really what it is, right? I mean, like, of course we want people to follow our journey and support us and help us. But at the end of the day, you and I are basically just holding our phone conference meeting, but it's obviously friendship because we this is when we talk. We really do just, this is Anthony and Steven's, you know, two hours together where we just talk to each other because first of all, we both hate talking on phones. For some reason, video conference bypasses that weird brain thing. And
it's true.
Yeah, I can see you and it's like we're hanging out. So like at the end of the day, you're right. Like, really, we're still doing everything we're supposed to be doing, and we just got to keep doing everything we're doing, and we'll keep making friends, we'll keep expanding. And like, I like the way we're doing it because it's like we get like waves of like friends, like, you know, like 5 or 10 at a time, where it's like, you know, where we can have these like smaller personal connections with these people, and then like we actually build honest friendship and honest, you know, and it's you know, like, of course we want to see the progress. We want to be able to just say like, hey, we want to quit our jobs. We want to do this, but I know we'll reach that point. And it's as long as we can still stay steady and growing in who we are and what this has always been anyway, we'll be fine. You know, we just can't beat ourselves up.
Yeah, dude, for sure. So what I'm saying is I need to become obsessed with grandmas again.
Steven, I have to focus because here's the thing about the grandmas. They don't care what content I'm putting out. They don't care what I'm doing. They don't care if I fail or succeed. They just want to pinch my cheeks, feed me cookies, and support me. And
what if okay, so what if the grandma thing, you know, we were just pursuing grandmas, but what if it was because like grandmas wanted you, like you were just available and like, you know, the you know, so what if we take on personas where we're just like alternate versions of us, that this version of Stevie Wildcard isn't married, this version of Anthony is it in a relationship.
Dangerous. I feel like we're about to Darkwing Duck this podcast. Okay. I before we play in this multiverse, I would like to say that I'm happily with a person. You are happily married. But now
I'm very happily married.
Steven,
we gotta go back.
I'm gonna do the Doctor Strange. Okay, I saw every possible iteration of this, and Tina hates all of them.
In fact, she's already done. Like when the words came out of my mouth, like I'm not even. She's like freaking out.
I sense a disturbance in the force.
Dude, can I just say something that like maybe like I was actually like at work and I was just thinking about like one of our recent conversations with Tina, and when we were like coming up with like, remember how I said like I called Fran a bald eagle, and then we said like Tina actually went back in time to all these different moments and told me to say the thing that was going to ruin that moment. So like she like perfectly curated the man that she was going to have. That was pretty good. It was so funny.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things is like now that you know Amy and I have been able to hang out with you and Tina, I've gotten like I've become painfully aware that you and I fall into our own language for a while, and we dip.
The super nuance.
It's so funny, dude. Like,
dude, we were like 20 layers deep on one joke. I think it was like
so. So I went over to Steven's house. So we've seen each other twice in like the past month or so. But like, dude, when I went over to your house and we started talking about the double cousins. Like, I cried so much that night. And then when we went out to eat, recently at Pincher's, and like I realized like you and I like got into this place. We're just doing this like weird, nuanced, like layer within layer joke that's happening. And I look over and I was like, I'm so glad that it's just okay. That like everyone's with it enough. But it's just like, oh, we're still good. Like, they're not hating, like, no one's hating me right now. And I'm still, like, deep in this conversation. But
see, those are the best laughs. Like, if only Hollywood could read our minds exactly and, like, write jokes, like, that deep for us just in a movie. But, like, dude, those super, like inside, like, not even inside. It's just literally, like, pieces of other conversations that just happen to snap together to create this amazing, hilarious plotline joke
that happen. And it's just like anytime, and I feel like sometimes it'll happen in the podcast, but like most of the time, I think because of the nature of our podcast, we have to try to stay on rails. Sometimes, you know, we try to stay like on some kind of track. Sometimes it'll come back, but if you and I just talk for a good 4 hours, we will have
around the 3 hour and 15-minute mark is when the joke happens, and then it's like, you know, 20 minutes of laughing, and then
dude, I love that stuff. I mean, that's like the best. It's like when I feel what friendship is. You know what I mean? Like I get in those moments. I'm like, man, this could not have happened with that guy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, screw this guy.
For sure.
Dude, get out of here. You know, like you don't know about double cousins.
How deep do your nuanced jokes go, Stu? I go like 4 layers deep tops. I mean, you got to know what Family Guy is, and that's basically all my jokes come from that. This is why I don't like you, Stu.
I don't like you, Stu. No one likes you.
I love how we adopted Stu now, because like I have a Craig in my life. It's actually cool. So we can't. Craig used to be our throwaway name, but now it's Stu. We'll just adopt Stu.
Yeah, I think that's why.
Sorry, any Stewarts out there.
Sorry, Stewarts. We hate you now. No, I'm kidding. Like our podcast, like it, subscribe. All right, dude. So the other thing I did want to get into is like, Steven, we have a convention coming up that we haven't really talked about. We have 2 things coming up that are pretty huge that we have not talked about. Okay, so we have a convention coming up on the 11th of next month.
And then we are going to be teaching a class at the end of the next one. We have to plan, like 1 week, we have to plan where I go over your house and we go in your room and we just talk about what we're going to do at the teaching situation.
Which I have a lot of ideas because we could, you and I are talkers. We could obviously fill information, but we want to have like a cool, like, hey, you can go home and draw Spider-Man now because you came into this class. You know, I do want to come up with like a simple shapes, like idea for Spider-Man or like a character just so that they can go home and feel like they learn something and excite them. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I also do want to teach them the in and outs of our dynamic and things like that, and friendship, and you know,
it's so important. But
it's important for creators to work together. You know, like that's.
So Steven and I were invited. Well, Steven was invited, and I grabbed on his coattails and I was like, "Bring me with you, Big Papa." And he was like, "You've never called me that outside of the bedroom." I was like, "Get ready to hear it more." So
Daddy coattails.
He's like, also, those aren't coattails. I'm like, wait, what? No. Why do you have 3 of them, Steven? What is this?
6 pod.
Oh, if only you could see what's on those videos, guys. If only you could see the things I've seen of Steven's body. No, but Steven was invited to do this thing, and he like was charitable enough, gracious enough, and kind enough to invite me along. So I also get paid to teach children how to make comic books, which is really cool. So we get to call ourselves comic book instructors and say that we are professional comic book instructors. It's really cool. So we have to figure out like a kind of curriculum for those kids. It's going to be what she said, like 7-year-olds, right? Like about our kids' age. 7 or
8-year-olds. So like that's why I want to come up with like, obviously we want to give them something like it's probably maybe it's a little over their head, but like then I want to have something that we can just hands-on. They feel good about the class, and like I said, it excites them. You know, like that's what I want to do. So, and I know you and I, but you're amazing with kids. Like you show that with every child that you come in contact with. So like, I have no doubt that we're gonna do a good job. We do need to like have like a Anthony and Steven date where we just
we both get there and just freeze. Just nothing. We don't talk. We awkwardly sit and just don't even look at them for like the whole hour. And
I didn't fucking ask for this. I was kidding. That would never happen. That would never happen. But
it would be amazing. It would be. I mean, we're not filming it. We can anything can happen. Anything can happen next year. So the first step in making comic books: give us your parents' social security numbers.
I'm worried about. I need the security codes on the back of the card. The numbers mean nothing.
This is how you draw Spider-Man. You get your parents' phone and you subscribe to our freaking podcast. Comic book situated. Sit down, Stu. We're talking about our podcast again.
We're gonna have you guys arrested. What are you talking about? You're trying to commit fraud. Like
those police officers better have YouTube accounts.
Sorry, I need you to put your hands behind your head. I need you to put your hands in your pocket and grab your cell phone and subscribe to my channel. I just get tased like mid-sentence. I just hope I'm having a good drawing day. You know, some days you have those days where your hand is just like not operating, like, you know, not cooperating.
Oh, it's so funny. It's and like the awkwardness of doing things in front of people when you haven't had to do that in a while, you know? So like, so that happened to me with drawing. I remember like when I was a kid, anytime I was told to like go up on the board and like draw something or write something, I always felt so uncomfortable. It was like, you know, when you forget how to walk, or like when you like realize like, why am I, is this it? Am I walking?
Is this moving?
Am I moving? Like that used to happen to me with like writing on the board every time. And dude, I remember one time I was in 9th grade, and I still lived in the other coast. I was in 9th grade, and I had a music class, and the teacher was like, "Does anyone in here play any instruments?" And I was like, and I like kind of half raised my hand and didn't realize I was the only one in the whole class that moved at all. And I was like, "Oh no!" And so,
what have I done?
What have I done to myself? So he was like, "Oh, okay. I want you to do like a performance for the class to show them like what you do, you know, like what kind of stuff I'm like, but what? Oh, okay. He's like, yeah, just bring in your guitar and, you know, I'll set up like a speaker for you and everything. And like, dude, I have never like it was such a Step Brothers moment, like, because I played so at the time in ninth grade, that's when I played Blink 182. I played like, like I was all about like Saves the Day. It was all like crunchy like pop punk stuff, and that's what I played and I loved it. He sits me down and he puts on this PA and he plugs my guitar into this clean PA and I'm like,
oh no.
Down, 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 and it's like you can make acoustic sound good. I could probably play an acoustic version of Damn It. Playing this like weird, clean, honky tonk sounding Damn It, like for this big class of
and then like, dude, I hate like when you don't have control over your own clean settings. Like, I feel like clean settings on a guitar are like more critical than like distortion settings, and like chords just sound bad on some amps. Like you can't even just play like a G chord or an E chord and it'd be okay sounding, unless you're John Mayer. But like that dude can play anything on anything and sound good. But I know exactly what you're talking about, dude. Like I would be just as scared. Like if someone
it was so uncomfortable.
Here's your shit, here's your electric guitar, Steven. Go ahead and jam on this PA. Oh crap.
What do I
don't have reverb? I don't have distortion. Yeah, I don't have anything.
What do you do?
I can't hide the flaws.
And so like I'm sitting there and I was like, I don't know what to play because I already listen to music that none of these people like. Like they don't even like the stuff I like. I only play stuff I like. You set me up for failure. Why? Like why would you do this to me? And I should have called out dead. Like what am I doing? I should not have shown up to school that day.
Mourning Anthony was very brave.
Yes.
He thought he had this covered.
I was like, I grabbed my guitar. I was like, I got this. I'm gonna Buddy Holly my way out of this. And it did not work out. It did not.
You should have pulled like the Will Ferrell, like when he's the devil with Garth Brooks in the SNL skit. This thing's out of tune. He just keeps like tuning. The tune you hear is like,
but that's how I felt because I was like, that's why I said felt like it was like Step Brothers because like I played and I was like, the air in here's weird. I haven't played guitar in like a week. Yes, like it was a mess, dude. I hated it so much. I was so happy to leave that school. I'm like, I mean, not that Cape was much better when I first started, but of course, like I eventually found all of you guys and like I at least kind of found my people eventually in Cape. Like that first school was awful. Like I would bring comic books and I would sit there and like just try to read comics and like ignore everyone all the time. And I remember like on more than one occasion, someone smacked a comic book like off my desk, like just
like
to try to
typical like Degrassi high school shit.
Like just someone trying to start a fight with me. I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna pick up this piece of paper that was stapled on the middle. What do you think I'm gonna do? Like I don't care. I was like, I'm not gonna bring like a comic book that's worth a lot of money to this high school. So it was weird. I was like, okay. I remember like in that school, there was one teacher who was like, oh, are you an X-Man? And I was like, no, I would be in Charles Xavier's school for gifted. I wouldn't be here right now if I was an X-Man. Like, are you Professor X? That is a dumb question, sir. Why are you asking me this in front of
and not to mention, like,
I'm reading.
Like, if I was an X-Man, like, I mean, not the whole school aren't X people. Like, they're like, there's just students too. They're just trying to like, they're just trying to get their bachelors and the gifted youngsters. They're going to leave. They're not going to fight Sentinels. Like, Leech isn't going to go out there and start smashing Sentinel face. And I'm just trying to learn how to be a human. Like that's what I'm doing.
Yeah,
here.
I'm trying to learn how to fit in because of people like you, Stu. Listen. All right. No, like I hated that so much. Like I hate being called out, especially by teachers, but I hate being called out when I'm doing all the right things. I'm just reading. I'm like before class, people were sitting in here, they're being loud and obnoxious. I'm just reading a comic book by myself, minding my business, and he's like picking on me. Like, what are you doing? I actually brought that up to someone recently because it's so funny how like now Marvel and like Disney and Marvel have like taken over the culture so much so that like people forget that it used to be kind of like frowned upon to like comics and be like nerdy and stuff. Like liking that stuff.
Oh, dude, like going into high school. Yeah, like going into high school, our generation was probably the last generation that felt the crap. Yeah. If I'm honest.
Yeah.
Because I feel like even towards the end of our senior year, like it did seem to be like more pop culture, like like everyone likes SpongeBob. Like it doesn't matter. Like like there was just like Invader Zim was a little bit popular among like the things that weren't popular with those popular kids in middle school suddenly like started becoming more mainstream, and like those ideas, like the X-Men movies, the Spider-Man movies really bridged that gap. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, I don't think we suffered as much as the nerds in the 80s did, but we were the last like graduating class of like, hey, nerds are not cool, which
yeah, dude, it was just so weird to like experience that and then see this whole like explosion and renaissance and just everyone's in love with Marvel. And now it seems like there's like this new fatigue happening where like people aren't insulting people who like it necessarily, but people are like, there is like a general like hatred for a lot of Marvel properties coming out now. And I mean like it's like there are different schools of that hatred, and I don't really care to get into it, but it is interesting how like it kind of had this like whole bubble for a while. And like I don't know if like Endgame or like Infinity War, if they're like too big and it's so hard to get, beyond those for some people, or if it's a real fatigue or what. But
I think right now, what's hard for people to understand is like, I think like the Marvel Cinematic Universe has to be viewed as the Infinity War was this climb and then it happened. And now we're back down and we're rebuilding to the next climb. And then we're going to hit that high again. But I think people expected the high to keep going, but I mean, like you can't be all high. You have
fireworks. It's a fire.
You have to have,
it's a firework.
Like I mean, that was the culmination of all those story arcs coming to a head. Now it's establishing all these other characters. That's why I think a lot of these movies that are kind of like there's still some ones that are shining through. Like I haven't watched it yet because that's how like out of it I've been. But I've heard Shang-Chi is really good, and I've heard. I mean. And then Doctor Strange was like fun. Like it wasn't like a bad. Yeah.
No.
So like it was like and like that's the conflicting consensus on Doctor Strange is like people just want to hate it for some reason. But
on the internet,
like, I mean, obviously,
everything's so polarizing for just needlessly and excessively. Like everyone say, like I'll make a joke to be like, meh, I wasn't like I wasn't as excited for it when as I was watching it as I was hoping I would be. And sometimes that's your own expectations getting the best of you. Like sometimes I have an active imagination that like when I see multiverse of madness and then you show me like an evil Doctor Strange and all the like in the trailer and stuff, my brain just it does the Doctor Strange thing where I create a huge series of potentialities, and if they give me the one in which they fail, I'm not gonna love it. And like that's but like that, and that's what happened.
That was the biggest weakness of that movie was the word multiverse was in it, so the expectation was we were going to be seeing a lot of multiverses.
Yeah,
and I thought most of the movies were going to be taking place throughout many.
So did
I.
But
it really was. It really was just like a quick travel sequence into the main other universe that they were going to be in. So like, and then like what made me really like in retrospect, if I would have just gone into that movie thinking of it as strictly a Doctor Strange sequel, it would have been an incredible movie for a Doctor Strange sequel. Like, I mean, but like that whole multiverse of madness headline, it did feel like they were setting up for like an Infinity War style movie again, basically this early on, kind of like to kick the whole multiversal war off, but I still enjoyed it though. And I'm excited for the things that they
they set up some fun stuff in that movie.
The implications that are there, but yeah.
I thought it was fun. One day, Steven, we're going to have we're going to have a movie, but we're going to have our own comic book. Can you imagine if Deathless became a movie? Like, wouldn't that be
I would love it, dude.
Like,
and the thing is it's the perfect like length to just be a movie. It doesn't need to be a series. It doesn't need to be anything.
You could easily make it a movie and like have it make sense and everything. You could easily make it a series as well, but like I'd say a mini series where I like if you just did an episode per issue and then just like flushed out those issues into like a 30 or probably like 45-minute long like short films each one, that'd be amazing. But no, dude, perfect. I can make like an hour and a half, 2-hour movie out of it, like our whole story, and have it like make sense and be good. I would love that. That'd be incredible. One day, Steven, we will get there. But for now, we have to make this freaking book. So what are you going to do this week?
Well, 19 will be finished. There's no doubt in my mind that that's going to happen. But I really do want to push through to 20.
Why is it raining squirrels? What is happening? What? All these squirrels? Why did I summon
Anthony,
that?
I got mutant powers, but like they're great, but they turn my hands into balls.
Right,
So I can't hold a pen.
Are you saying what kind of ball? Like footballs? Or are you saying like
I just think I was not human anatomy. I was thinking like rounded, like
I'm thinking
bouncy balls,
solid
like the biggest
scrotal
balls.
Fist Steven. Total fist Steven just punching bags.
Dude, wouldn't it be crazy if like the AC/DC song "Big Balls" was actually written about me? Like he had a dream that this amazing comic book artist's hands was going to turn into these giant balls.
Steven Scrotal hands.
The scrotal hands.
Can you imagine?
Scrotal wild card.
Like, I mean, it's almost super effective because no one wants to be punched with balls. Like,
hey, you want a piece of me? No, I do not want a piece of you. I don't even know what that would feel like, sir. I think it would hurt you more than it would hurt me, though. That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, is it still teabagging if you're using your fist?
This sounds like a horrible like trailer for a movie that you put like as a joke trailer, like a gag trailer before a movie.
You should see the other guy. I'm imagining his face has been teabagging terribly. Oh, yeah.
I'm just imagining him like itching his hand. He's just doing like
the pinch and roll.
The pinch and roll on his knuckles, basically.
Roll on his hand. Oh, can you? I mean, like, how do you sneeze, Steven? What do you do?
Oh, man. What do your hands go? Do your hands go like this, or do they go like when you sneeze or cough? Do they retract? Like people are learning a lot of stuff about testicles right now.
When it gets cold, your glove size changes.
That's how. If the gloves don't fit, you must quit.
Just get some ice. Get some ice.
Shrink those bad boys.
Oh my god. Rock, paper, scissors is a completely different game now.
Here's the thing: is I lose to everything. Because if you put scissors or paper on these things, I'm gonna lose it.
I don't want a paper cut. Don't put scissors near me. And a rock sounds painful. No, thank you. So that happened. So we talked about that for much longer than I expected. So I wrote down Steven Scrotum hands. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so this week I'm going to color 2 pages. I'm going to color the next 2 pages. I'm done with that magic, like, crazy page. I'm coloring the next 2 pages. I have tomorrow and Thursday to work on it. I'm going to do as much as I possibly can. I have to start throwing myself into this. I am going to look at that camera and see if our Roommate from Hell thing is on there, and I'll totally tell you if it is. You know, like, I'll tell you what I discover. And if it is on there, I will put it on our channel so people can watch like what we were working on and stuff. Well, thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening. If you haven't subscribed already, please go hit the subscribe button. It really does help us. Otherwise, we just appreciate you. We appreciate you listening to us. We hope you got something out of the episode and laughed with us. Steven, the ball fist thing.
And that genuinely was not planned. Like, I really was just like trying to think of like what would stop me from drawing a comic. Oh, if my hands were balls. But I was literally imagining like little kid bouncy balls. Like,
of course you are, Steven. Steven's just like bombardment hands. He has those big red like dodgeball hands. But nope, that's not where my stupid brain went. Anyway,
and he was like that.
I was like, you can't, Steven. Wait, Steven, if we're working backwards, does that mean that your arms through extension are reversed?
Do they become shafts?
They become shafts.
Like, dude, is it like like in Dragon Ball or in any anime, you know how they do like the awesome arm techniques? Do I go like this for like my special, like, and then it's just like and it shoots out my elbows or something? I don't know. Is that my special?
Okay. But thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening. Steven, you're the best. I love you so much.
I love you too, dude.
All right. This has been episode 90 of We Have Issues. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Stevie Wildcard.
And we'll see you next time. Thank you so much.
And what do you want people to say about you when you die?
I don't want to say anything. I want them to be crying. They shouldn't have the heart to say anything. They should be just crying till their eyes hurt.
What do you want to do when you grow up?
I want to be a Ghostbuster.
If that falls through, what do you want to do?
I want to be in a successful band called Inherit the Sun.
That's all we're gonna put on this tape for now, because we're gonna, me and Mike, you don't have to be afraid not to get the camera. We got some footage of a birthday party that we did for somebody, and we're gonna put this after this, so we're gonna have to go do that now so we have room on that tape, so we're stopping it now. See you, hope to see you soon. Love you.